Oh. Oh. Hey. All right. We got the chat here. Got that there. Sounds pretty good. Or well, seems pretty good. Oh, hello. We are doing a listening party. For my silly little record that I started making in September of 2021. So that's almost 2 years ago now. In fact, yeah, 9. Yeah, very close to 2 years. Not exactly, but close. Yeah. So I started it, and I had this crazy idea that I would play, like I would improvise, and I would play over it with drums, organ, and then 4 tracks of guitar at once. And I would mix in the best parts from each of the 4 tracks. And it was really kind of daunting as soon as I started it, because I realized, oh god, like, I'm nuts. So I tried to go with it, and then I realized that I couldn't. So a few months ago, I was staring at the project file for like the millionth time and thinking about like the mixes and stuff, and I was like, you know, what if I just did this, but I didn't have like as 4 guitar tracks? And I realized, well, it's my own fucking album. I can do whatever I want. I can change whatever I want. Like, I don't know why I set such a weird, unrealistic goal, but I changed it to a much more realistic goal of just playing 1 guitar track over the entire thing. But I already had 2 tracks recorded, so I was like, okay, well, I'll mix them together. And so I did yesterday, when I decided, well, the old mix was kind of shit, so I'm going to do it from scratch. And this new one's better. It's not, you know, the best, but I'm trying to do this all myself, so for what I can do, I think people will enjoy it. I hope. I think it'll be a very interesting stereo sound experience. Yeah. So it'll start in 4 minutes. So I got my witch hat on, and I just quickly did my makeup, so it looks kind of terrible. My hair is kind of parting in a shitty way. I don't know why. So I'm a mess, but I'm gonna listen to this one more time, and then probably not listen to it again for ever. I don't know. Maybe I will check it out again in the future when I'm interested. But I think we should just, for my sake, this should be maybe the last time I listen to this record for a little while. I mean, that's good, because I mean, if an error somehow happened in the mix, which I was, doing and supervising the entire time, then I guess I'll be able to hear it? I don't know. So 3 minutes. And this album is 2 hours. That, I think that was the goal, if I'm not mistaken, right? It was to do a 2-hour thing. And there was a whole, live concept, which I'll go into a little bit of detail about. But I don't think that live concept is going to work out for a few reasons. I don't know why, but I was able to click on this and then I got like a bunch of these little popping up my album cover here. This isn't the original album cover. Fun fact. This is one that I made recently. But I did have another cover set up to go. But at the last minute, I decided against using it because of its probable copyrighted status. I mean, it does have copyrighted logos in it. I took it from National Geographic that I had on the bookshelf. The very very few issues of that I still have. I don't even know where the hell I put them. Is it even in here? I don't know. I moved all my shit around recently, so I don't know. I think they're under my computer. Anyways. 1 minute. It's pretty nutty. Wouldn't it be 2 minutes? It says 11:58. Or is it counting down like 1 minute and 59? I was gonna do like a New Year's type countdown here. I don't know. So, if you would like to hear the record, by the way, and you don't want to hear me blabbing my mouth over it, you can go to the Bandcamp, gigazoo.bandcamp.com. I released it on my record label, Gigazoo Records, that I've been running since 2017. And you can listen to it there. You can download it for free. You can get all the art for free. And yeah, that's it. So it's gonna start. Dear Lord. Should we say our prayers? I have no fucking idea. Oh, there it is. Is it muted? Yes, I don't know why it was muted. Okay. So, it's mastered a little quietly. In fact, I might turn down my own microphone volume there. Because this is mastered quietly. Well, most of it is. So this, I played a bit of this track at PodGod's live show. That was a while ago. Hello, gang. Got people in the chat. Oh. I didn't even know. Okay. So, anyways, I was saying, this part I played in the Podgods Album Pods release set. They actually just released this, and I will open it. Just released this on CD. Yes. Their lovely album about smoking drugs. This is my friend Guy and Tristan, and they sing about smoking nicotine carts and piss, and it's funny. It's just silly. It's silly music. Someone is asking the inspiration behind this. Okay. Well, let me answer that. Well, let me think about that, because there's a lot of things. I mean, a big inspiration for this one in particular was a lot of music I have been hearing. And I don't know what else. Like, what else would you say? Like, I don't know why I'm having trouble with this. I shouldn't be. I planned this, and yet here we are. I think I just felt like I had to do it. You know? I got a question. Japanese music. I mean, yeah, but not totally. There's a lot of different things floating around in my head right now, and it's kind of hard for me to say one thing. I hope that's a good answer. I don't know. Yeah, but it's true. I talk to a lot of interesting people. I listen to a lot of weird ass shit. What kind of music is this? I'm improvising. I'm making it up as I go, and I'm just trying to see what works. It doesn't necessarily have to be something that, you know, when I play it, it like sounds right. It's just making sounds. Partially for the sake of making sounds. In a way. There's something else I wanted to say there, and now I forgot about it. Yeah, it's like the force and feeling. When I play instruments, I kind of give them a bit of a beating. So, if that makes sense, I mean, on the last song, I broke off all the guitar strings. I think this was the part I played at that live show. I played about 5 minutes, and it was really early, pretty awful sound mix. Everything was too loud, I remember. I kind of get lost in it a lot. Let me turn up. There we go. Yeah, I get lost in a sound, not a groove necessarily, not a place, but just like if there's a sound, and I like the way that the sound sounds. That sounds stupid. like the way I'm wording that doesn't sound very smart, but if you can understand, it's like having physical vibrations and stuff. Like when I play the organ in this, like I can feel that it shakes the whole ground. So you can feel that in your legs and in your hands and stuff. When you play the drums, you can really feel that in your hands and your legs. And when you're playing the guitar, you've got like an amplifier. You kind of feel that in your whole body. I feel it in my stomach a lot. I like playing really fast too. I don't know if that adds anything. When did I add that second one? March? I think it was March of last year. I added that. The guitar that. So this, I guess you could say this was the track that I guess took the longest to work on. Man from Foliet with the beaver hat. And I can't for the life of me, because it's been so long, I can't remember where I got half of these titles from. I just came up with them, I guess. I know the last song I asked my friend Sama for the title. And I like the title. I like describe the thing that makes you wiggle. I think that's a nice song title. The mix on this, I'm going to talk about a little bit of that. I did it today on this beast. I made almost every part of this on this. And I have another smaller Tascam in the back that I recorded the drums and the organ on. And then all the guitar excepting like the first part, I think. I recorded on here. And this behemoth is something I fixed and screwed around with at my high school before I graduated, and then my teacher gave it to me as a graduation gift. I have it, and I make music with it, and it's very nice, and I recommend it. If you can get one for, like, under $1,000, though. They're, like, expensive as hell or something. But, not very loose, so you gotta put a lot of effort into how you turn it, and that's a weird ass thing to say, but it is very true. That is just how I had to deal with that. So I started working on this in September 2021. I finished yesterday. Was the last day. What have I been doing in between? Well, I guess in between I've just been, mostly staring at the mix and not knowing what to do. There was a long period of time where I had the first track, and I had it all lined up, and it was ready to go in there, and I just, like, failed to come up with, I should do this, or should do this. But I was like, no, because every time I would do something new, it would make it, and I would listen to it, and I was like, oh, I don't like this at all. I want to say this now, and I'll say it again probably like a bajillion times, but feel free to leave like at any point, because this is long and endearing, and you don't actually have to listen to it all in one sitting, but if you don't want to do that, that's fine by me, but I'm just saying you're allowed. Absolutely. I'm not gonna freak out about that. One wish. I wish I could have redone a lot of things with this. I'm still happy with the final result, but there is one thing I wish I could have done particularly better, and that is I should have fucking mic'd those drums better. I don't know why. I just kind of let them loose on the floor, and it sounds fine, but it's a lot of it's really just in the right channel. And I didn't intend that. And when I got the recordings back, I was like, oh shit. There's not really much of a way to fix that without causing more issues, and besides, the thing I was recording on is not the best quality or whatever anyway. It's mostly for like demoing, I think. Well, no, I mean, it is meant as a whole thing. It's just like an amateur one. It has bad noise problems, pretty much, is what I'm trying to say here. There's only, like just random rambling. There's only a couple moments on the record I can think of where I distinctly set out time for like an instrument to solo. There's one part right in the middle. And like it's either in the second or third, and I can't remember. I'm not talking about this part. I mean, this part is technically a solo part, but I don't think I intended it to be, actually. I'm not sure, because I kept going back and forth, and there's quite a bit of unused takes and stuff. If I didn't like the sound, I would stop recording. But thankfully, in the last couple of times, I heard it, and I wasn't, like, entirely dissatisfied. Oh yeah, I guess I can also safely say, you know, I've listened to this album more than I think anyone ever has, because I played all the instruments and then listened to them all back probably about 4 times altogether, so that's 8 hours roughly, and now I'm doing that again. To listen back to it when I was recording, re-recording, and again. Checking something on my phone here. I know this is very unprofessional. Don't cancel me. taken. The DS1, the MT2. I played on this one. Like this. And I mixed this just hours ago. I like that little thing I did. I don't know how I came up with it. That's the power of improvisation in music. Is you can just do that. I like it. A lot of times around this time where I would hop on the drum set and this beat was all I could play. Dun 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 dun. I don't know why that was like the only thing I could play for like quite a while. But I went on the drums recently and I played and I was not like that anymore, so thank God. It's not a bad beat, it's just it was like I couldn't unstick myself from it, you know? It's kind of a lazy beat. It's very easy to do, especially like speed up kind of casually and add like stupid little fills in there and just lose it a lot and lose the groove, I mean. Oh, this track's almost over. Okay. I was looking on my phone because I wanted to look up what all was going on. Yes. So, this song is called Dedicated to the Good People of Myanmar. Keep fighting the good fight. And that's legit. What happened in Myanmar, if you're not aware, is there was a coup in early 2021, and there's just been countless shit going on there ever since. I think it's still happening. And not many things over here reported on it, because, of course, I guess for some reason our news media doesn't care about any country that isn't within our direct vicinity, except if it's Russia and Ukraine, I guess. For some reason we care about that. So, I'm not saying we shouldn't care about that. I just find it a weird double standard. Anyways, so yeah, that coup started around the time when this thing was happening. I think one of the most famous things that happened was there was someone who was doing like a fitness live stream or something on Facebook, and it's like the only footage of the coup happening was that fitness live stream. She like set it up on like a public road, and it was a very, very powerful and very just odd image to think about in the modern day. That's the only footage of that we have. So, yeah, with the context that I named this track, like around the time that was happening, and it still is. I'm just when it started is what I meant. And on this one, I used brushes on, I think, the entire song. This one. And I think the idea was to make it kind of sound like white noise, like ocean waves. And I mean, it didn't 100% work out like that. But I was trying to just brush, actually brush with the brushes instead of hitting lightly and something. I tried to brush over the skin, which I don't think you're supposed to do that. I think that kind of wears down the skin. But again, as I've explained, when I play instruments, I give them a bit of a beating for no good reason. Really, I don't think there's any good explanation for that other than, well, I'm not trying to be mean to them, but sometimes, they're pretty mean to me. So maybe you could call it self-defense in that scenario, right? This song is mostly chill. And the next song is really noodly. I mean, these are all fucking noodly as shit. They're all just fucking long ass shit. The whole time, but the next one is especially I don't know. I was trying to do a whole certain vibe, and I don't exactly remember what I was trying to do. All of them. I just have a fragment of the ideas, the basic concept, but I don't have the full thing in my head anymore. For the first one, I actually don't remember what I was trying to go for. But I know this one is chill. The next one I was trying to go like really like lazy sounding and like repetitive and like weird kind of. And then the last one I was thinking about like death a lot and stuff. But we'll get there when we get there. Last one's really like angry and stuff. But yeah, I don't remember the first one. I was trying to think of even earlier today because I was like, oh, I saw the little bandcamp thing. It was like listening party. I was like, oh, I should do that. That'd be nice. And I was thinking like I want to talk about this stuff, right? And it's like what was my whole idea for this again? And the only reason I don't remember is just, I mean, two things, and one is that I didn't write anything down because I thought I would remember it, which is a terrible, awful idea. And secondly, I have a terrible memory of things like that. From like, again, 2 years ago I came up with the concept. I didn't even start recording it until later. Like, after I came up with it. I came up with the idea first, and then I started recording it. I think I came up with it in like the summer, or like earlier. But I don't remember. I know I made a Twitter post about it. It would have been around the time that I made whenever I made that Twitter post. Let me go take a look at Twitter and see when I made that post. So, learned. It was September when I tweeted about it, but before I started recording. So, I don't remember exactly when, but it must have been before then. I don't think I tweeted about it when it was after I came up with it. I know that for sure. I don't know that for sure. I think it was after I came up with it that I made like a little rudimentary website for it. And oh yeah, I guess I could talk about the live idea, which I would still like to do. But there's probably not many opportunities for me to do that. But the idea was that I would, because, you know, the drums and the organ are recorded, right? And since this is a solo thing, pretty much, right? I would just go to a venue, have it set up with... I think my initial idea was surround sound, but I think if I were to do it now, I would just have the backing track be the drums and the organ, and that's it. And the idea is that I would just play guitar over it. Seems simple enough, right? I think it's a good idea. but that's just me, maybe. Because, the reason I say I think it's a good idea is because, all this was improvised. So, I can't lightning in a bottle. I'm not like the most perfect musician of all time, and I'm never ever gonna pretend to be. I don't think this album is perfect, and I don't think it's the best. I don't think it's the best thing I ever did, even. But I think it would be an interesting concept to try. Anyways, probably won't happen for a while at least, but I would like to give it a shot one day. Just hop in somewhere and just go fucking nuts for a couple hours. And there would be the idea was that there would be a break in between, because obviously fucking person needs a break in between playing for 2 hours. Well, one person, maybe. I don't know. There are some bands who can play without breaks, I guess. I don't know. But it would be it would be interesting. So we'll hope for the best. I got mini DV camcorders. I got 2, and then I got a bunch of tapes off of eBay for like $80, I think. Maybe, no, it was like less than that, I think. It might have been like just 20. But it was just a big box of these tapes. And the tapes are all fine, but the camcorders are like busted. They don't work at all. They barely play the tapes, and they make all sorts of weird, concerning noises and stuff. So my idea was that I would have like these 2 cameras set up or whatever, so they were pointing at me and like recording a video while I was playing, right? But yeah, I'll need to get some new cameras before I can go through with that idea. But I would like to do that too. I have a lot to talk about, and I have a lot to think about. I like thinking while listening to music. It's just very chill, you know? I just had a thought. Oh, okay. We're good. I was like, I just had the sudden realization. Just had the sudden realization that like, oh yeah, I don't know how much hard drive space I have, because this album's like a gig, and then I'm recording this stream and saving a backup, and so that's gonna be like another couple gigs, right? Because all the video, and I'm thinking about it, and I was like, oh god, like I don't know how much hard drive space I have, but we're good. I think we're good. Oh, another idea, I forgot to mention this. I was originally going to include another track of noise. Because that's what I did on a couple albums, a couple of the last things I did. Was I got this guitar when I was a little kid, and it was a good electric guitar. It had an amp built in. And I mean, I say it's good. It's not like the best, obviously not like a super professional thing, but a thing for kids. But I still had it because I grew up and I liked instruments, and I had this guitar still. But it's getting old, and the pickups aren't working so great. And me and my stupid fucking ideas, I was like, what if I made it so, like, because you can generate like weird noises when you have pedals going, and you like put things on the little pickups, like little like metal nubs of the pickup, rub it over it, and it goes like and you can get some weird shit out of it. So I was like, I have all these old guitar strings that for some reason, instead of throwing them out, I just had them in a pile. I was like, okay, so what if I disassemble like the entire body pretty much? Like rip all this shit out, and then I just have the strings, just like a bajillion in like a pile, and I duct tape them around the neck, and then you just whip the metal string fragments like up and down and all this stuff. And yeah, it was a nutty idea, but it worked. It worked really well when I wanted to like play noise, and I still have it. I just haven't used it in a long time. So I wanted to use it on this record, but it was around the time I realized that 4 tracks was too much, and I was thinking, like, every other part of this album is a little too mellow, except for like the last part, that I just don't think it would work, honestly. I like making weird noises, and I like making like irritating noise, but I just don't think that kind of sound would work with like playing through the entire thing. Just in my mind. I don't know. Maybe if I went through with it, maybe it would sound different. Because I would have tried to make it sound interesting, right? But we're almost into the first hour. Of 2. Again, a reminder. That you don't have to be here. I'm gonna keep this live stream up forever, I think. And if you want to leave at any time, if you need your sleep, because it's like 12 in the morning, or I am anyway. It might be different in your time zone, or whatever, but you don't gotta be here. If you can't physically or mentally, you can go, and no issue. Okay. I'll stop saying that for a little bit. But in the next hour, I will put out another reminder for the folks. I guess it would be Sunday now. That's nice. Happy Sunday. I think when we're done here, I'm gonna have a nice long nap. Sleep. It's interesting to hear this again. I went from that noise wave idea to just straight up practically polyrhythm at that point. So I was going in beat, and now I'm out of beat. It probably made sense in my head at the time, I don't know. Nice. That would have been a great track ending too, but still 10 minutes. Yeah. It's always, I guess expect the unexpected a little bit. I guess that's with everything that I have ever done, really. Thinking of, like, you know, something like Ginger that I put out. How long ago was that now? That's almost been a year, hasn't it? Oh, gee. These are the organ I have is like a really cheap low-end chord organ that I don't know how much it cost when it was new because I couldn't find the model online, my specific one. So it must have been like a really low-end one, I'm thinking. But it has like I think 8 to 10 chord buttons on the left side, and they're really basic, like your bare minimum chords. So sometimes it's nice to honk out a little, and I really mean honk. I don't know why. It sounds like a to me. The chord specifically. I don't know why that is. But the problem with this is that, I guess, what you can play is kind of limited. Because eventually you'll start making the same sounds again. I guess that's true with the regular organ stuff, though, as well, right? It's not, I mean, it's not like I'm trying to, except for in the third track when I am trying to. And obviously I'm going to be, like, playing like the same notes over and over, like, of course, like, I don't know. So it would be funny if someone were crazy enough to like stack up every time I press an organ note and see which one I played the most. Don't actually do that, and nobody would probably ever do that because it's fucking nuts. But that would be interesting. I would think you're insane, but that would be interesting. Would certainly. There's probably like some pattern in there that's fucking related to pi. I saw this fucking video on Instagram the other day of like two boxes, and like depending on like weight and stuff and like the amount of things, and it all relates back to pi, like 3.14, and I that's fucking nuts to me. And I don't know if that's bullshit or not, right? Because I couldn't care less look it up, but that's fucking interesting. I'll tell you that. It's fucking interesting. And it took me like a few minutes to realize too, because at first I saw it and it was just like this video of these two boxes going boing. It was like funny boxes. And then I realized, like, oh my god, that's fucking nuts. The amount of times it hits the wall or something like that. I don't know. Fucking weird. But I thought it was cool. Is there hair on my lip? Oh, I mean... I'm so like when it comes to the effects and stuff. Huh. Strange, just I don't know how to put it. Oh yeah, reppin' Dat Weasel. No way. That's a lie. I'm happy to represent Dat Weasel. I'm a sponsor of Dat Weasel. Water time. Screw the lipstick anyway. Added benefit that I still look pretty cute. Decently enough, anyway. I think this track, before it ends, I think this is the overdrive and this one's the metal zone. This one might be the Yamaha distortion. I like that that's seamless. Thank you, bandcamp, for making that perfectly seamless. Okay, two things. First thing. Okay. First thing solved. Second thing. Oh. Didn't know you could do that. I'm not gonna do that, but I didn't know you could do that. Okay. The other thing. Let's see. Oh yeah, this one's got a bit of a story to it. A couple stories. Here's the artwork. So this is a mosaic of the part in the middle there. And I made this in touch paint. There's a lot of cool effects and stuff. And that is a real sneeze that just so happened to accidentally be on beat. Not edited or nothing. There were a couple concepts for artwork. One of them used this little clip of a CD and this old piece of propaganda art that this is the well, it was going to be the album cover before I decided against it. But this is an image that I've lifted from a National Geographic from the 50s. You can see, I thought it was kind of silly and kind of a weird sort of comment on like capitalism. Like you have like this, I don't know, sort of stereotypical, traditional, sort of very white people, like yodeling, kind of the whole mountains and shit, and they're all just doing coke. Yeah, they're all just drinking fucking coke. It almost looks like it's photoshopped into their hands, and in fact, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if this is just like one of those things where it's like the artist has just taken this original painting and then just like painted them holding coke. I don't know because I'm not familiar with it, but anyways, I thought the juxtaposition was kind of silly, but I mean, to be honest, I mean, other than the Coke logos and the fact that it's, you know, someone else's painting, to be honest, I don't know if it really fits with the record that well. I think it's very interesting album cover, but I don't think it's necessarily the right one for this album, if you get me. I did a really high quality scan of the picture for some reason. You can see the tricolor. It looks really good, but yeah, there's a big gash on it. That's just on my copy, unfortunately. But yeah, that was gonna be the album cover before. It was not. What else can I show you related to this album? I was going to include this. This is a weird little text-to-speech song that I made in like 2015. And I was going to include it right in the middle, and then I was like, no, like it's going to ruin the flow. That was another, it was a last-minute decision to put it in there, and then I last minute took it out. Because I was like, no, it's not going to sound that good, and I mean, I don't know, to be honest, maybe it would have, but, I didn't think so. So, Oh yeah, and this is the thing that I wrote. The several hairs is what it's called. It's it's just like I call it like a text-to-speech song. It's just like a it's almost like a rap, I guess. I don't know. It was slam poem, maybe you could call it that. I was just typing and I was like, what words sound funny to have the text-to-speech voice say? And it's like really low quality and it's just silly. And I never put it on a record. And I thought, part of this record is that I'm kind of thinking about like some old ideas and stuff. Because, I mean, it's kind of an old... The concept and everything is kind of old. A lot of these recordings are pretty old by now. For me. Oh yeah, I guess we're well into the first hour now. With the stream, we are, but the album we're a little bit in. About that a little bit. The Essex one. So it's running off of operating system called BOS, and it's a beta version, which is it got its own weird little quirks and things. To practice, I used there's like a modern version of it called Haiku, which is great. And I have it installed on like a secondary backup computer. This is a very simple little operating system at this point. Like, well, I mean, not simple, but like it can run on like hardware that is older without much issues, and it works decently well for what it is. It's got a lot of like Unix and Linux like similarities and things, and it's not the same, but it's similar. It's all very similar. Anyway, this has none of that. This just loads into its own proprietary software. There's no desktop and no nothing on here. It's all... This is basically a computer with a bunch of extra music hardware and shit built into it, like extra screen, and you can see my two brassieres, where underneath them is there's a computer monitor. 1024 by 768. That's the maximum resolution, and is that a damn shitty resolution for them to pick? But I got this nice LCD monitor that is very sharp, and you can see everything. It looks very nice. So the big thing with this thing is obviously that it's out of date. Pretty bad out of date. I think it came out in 2000. And yeah, so we're on 23 years now. And it's still working. And that's at least halfway because of me and my friend Pablo's efforts to get this thing working again. Big shout out to Pablo. Definitely would not have got this thing working without him, I think. But yeah, we had to take it apart, and we reseated every single component that was in there. Every single cable that we could find that you could take out, we would take it out, blow air through it, and then plug it back in. And that's when it started working perfectly again, because it was so dusty in there. I think we took a shop vac to it, and we just blew... We either blew everything out or we sucked it all up, but it was a fucking mess. And so to get something off of this is the most convoluted and shitty system in the world. To get something off of it, and I actually recorded like a tutorial video, which I never edited or posted or anything, so maybe I'll do that again, because I think I was like stuttering a lot in that video and shit. I don't like when I stutter a lot and whatever, like I've been doing tonight, but it's just something I can't really help. live like this. So, anyways, to get a song or whatever off of this, your final mix, there's two ways to do it. And the first way is you can copy it over to a CD. And you can copy it to the CD as files or as like a burned music on a CD. And unfortunately, both of these methods take an exceedingly long time and are awful and suck, and I hate them. There is another way, and I wasn't able to get it working until I actually got this in my house. I was trying to get this working at the school, and it didn't work at all. But I finally got it working when I got it here in my home. So what I did is, it has a network card in the back, and it has its own networking capability. It'll set up a FTP, which is this really old network thing for computers to communicate and send files. It's called the File Transfer Protocol. And that's all it's intended for. It's kind of fucking slow, but it is not as slow as the CD, if you would believe that. So, the problem was, whenever I would try to hook it up to a modern computer, or hook it up to a router, and then try to access it from a modern computer, it wouldn't work at all. And I still actually don't know what in the goddamn hell the cause of that was. I am very, very confused by it every single day as to what exactly the cause of it was. But it's some incompatibility somewhere in the line. It doesn't like something. So, I thought the network card was busted, and I replaced it, and it did the exact same thing. So, it's not the network card, and it doesn't have to be a certain type of network card, because I tried it with it was like a different, like, Realtek one or whatever than the one that was already in there. It made no difference, is what I'm trying to say. It didn't do jack shit. So, I thought, I was like, okay, so something inside is just busted, and I'm never going to be able to figure this out unless I, like, do the little CD swap thing, which is needlessly, like, hard to understand, and so it's like, okay, so, like, I'm not going to have much use for this. But I didn't give up. I had one more idea, and the one other idea was to set up my own miniature shitty little network in this room. So on top, it's covered up by things, and you can't really see it. I can move it here and move it. But it's all underneath this pile of junk, right? But I thought, I was like, oh, in another room somewhere, we have this old, like, really old router that we don't use. And my mom was like, we need to get rid of that. And I was like, no, because I'm going to need it at some point. But I never knew what I was going to need it for. But I always wanted to keep it, just in case there was some fucking network thing that I needed. And this was finally the opportunity for me to do that. So, I took it out, and I looked at, fucked with the settings on it and all that kind of stuff. And I plugged in, I had this old Windows XP computer, which is... So I have quite a few of them, but I got one that was, like, decent enough at its job. And I hooked it up to the network, like, in the back of the router, and then I hooked that up to the SX1, and it worked. I put it all together, I got software on there, and it just worked. It finally worked, and it was beautiful, but it was very, very complicated. And then there was the other part was I didn't have an easy way to get the music off of the XP computer. It was easier, but I would have to. I plugged in. Initially, it was like a little hard drive, and then I was like, no, that's like too fucking flimsy. So then it was USB stick, but the USB stick I have is only like 4 gigs. So anything bigger than that, if I want to move it on or take it out, then I can't do that. And yes, you can put files onto it, which is great. I love that you can do that. I've been working on something on and off for my friend Guy, and I had to put files on there, and it works perfectly like a charm. Absolutely recommend, and I love it. But anyways, so eventually I went into like another one of my computers, and I just salvaged the part. It was a Wi-Fi card, just this old and really shitty, slow, like old one. By this point, probably good for its day, but it's good enough for what I need. And I just plugged it in, and so now I got it all updated and everything, and it's all running, and I can put it on here now without having to have any link in between the two other than just airwaves, which is great. It's very stupid and tough for me to do it otherwise, and I really don't like it. I prefer this quite a lot. Whew, that was a long conversation. Another thing I want to talk about is I mix this not using these headphones. These are my Grados, and I do mix some things on here, but not everything. These are like my main computer headphones. Fortunately, they're kind of breaking. I don't really like these cans. They look like the old Caliphone, like school headphones. Yep, they look a little more professional, and they certainly sound a little more professional, but not by much. I got these at a thrift store. I don't remember how long ago, or where, why, but I got these at a thrift store. And this brand is called Concerto, and it is like unobtainium, like, to find any information about it. It might have been sold with some 8-track combo units, and it's Canadian. It's a Canadian brand, because whenever you look it up, you can only find listings for it in Canada. It says Japan on it, though. Yeah, and these ones are the SH2000, and I couldn't find these ones online. So, don't know what their deal is. They're probably like a rebranded, like, shitty, cheap Japanese model. There was supposed to be foam in here, and it's just disintegrated long gone. However, they also barely work. You need to move these cool sliders, you see? You need to move them very delicately and slowly, and then you might get a sound out of it. And the best part is they sound like fucking dog shit. They are terrible. There is bass, but there's barely any of it. It's mostly your middle section and your high end. And yeah, it's really bad. But it's actually perfect for me, because my idea was that if the bass is good enough that I can hear it on this and it doesn't sound terrible, and if everything else sounds okay, then it'll sound good on anything. And I've tested this, and it's worked so far. I'm not going to say it's perfect. It's definitely not the #1 solution. This is the part I was talking about earlier, where I laid a specific part out to solo. This is the guitar solo, everyone. Anyways, Yeah, these are shitty, awful headphones, and I would never recommend them to anyone. But they work perfectly for my need of shitty headphones to mix music with. And I mean, to be honest, I said they barely work, but it's just because of the fucking sliders got that I could probably clean them if I had like opened these up, which I have no idea how to do and don't even want to begin to find out. So, anyways, they work for my needs, and I mean, if you ever see a pair of Concerto branded headphones, pick them up, because they seem to be kind of hard to get. But I definitely wouldn't listen to music or anything regularly on this thing. This is not that kind of headphone for me. This is for the music making. The end. So this one was the Metal Zone and that Overdrive, I think. This might have been 2 over or 2 distortion. Was that the Myanmar one that was 2 distortions? I don't know why. I kept track of like when I played the drums and stuff, but I didn't fucking keep track of like what pedals I played on which tracks for some reason. I don't know why I didn't think to do that. For some reason. You can hear the sound go out of the organ, like the 60 hertz hum stops. That's me physically switching the organ off and then switching it back on. You shouldn't do that. Don't ever do that with your organ, ever. But I did that. I'm allowed to because I'm gay. I don't know. Colder water? before I started this. And yet, me, the dummy, is sitting here now drinking lukewarm water, listening to an album I've already listened to about 4 times that I made. Sorry. When I say that, it wouldn't be as impactful of a statement if I didn't also mention that the album's 2 fucking hours long. I know I already talked about how futile thinking about where I got these, like, names from. But I'm really trying to think of where the hell I got the title Bet You Fucking Chain Smoker. That's a song title. And I don't know. I don't know what to think of that. You can hear it pretty clearly here what I was trying to go for. That like repetition that never ends. Like you heard that one part where it stops and then it just starts again. Oh my god. Very good at that somehow. Very good at making you think it's about to stop. And then right when it is, I take that away. Taking candy from a fucking child. Like alright. If you didn't hear that track transition. Here we are. Last stretch. Alright. get serious. I mean, I've been serious this whole time, I think. So, this one is a lot of anger and a lot of sadness and thinking about death a lot. I'll be straight up. Well, the biggest one I was thinking of at the time was, Peter Brotzman died the other day, and is a huge influence on me and a lot of people. And so that was pretty hard to think about. There's a lot more than just him, obviously. I'm saying him. You just start to think about, like, oh, we're all gonna die. And, the people you love, people you look up to and respect, we're all gonna die. And that's frightening. But this is like an attempt to make peace with that thought, I guess. Because I'm a teenager. I still have a lot to learn in life. So there's a lot of things that have happened that I still haven't made my own personal peace with. And there's some things that I know that I never will. Well, I guess I don't know, but I feel like right now that I won't. Maybe I won't. Maybe I will. I got a mosquito bite on my left cheek. So, some of the other people I was thinking about, I think the first one in a long time that really affected me was Daniel Johnston. He passed away a few years ago. That would have been... I don't even remember. It was when I was still in high school, I think, that happened. And I was doing my radio show and starting to really listen to him again. And then the news just came out that he just fucking passed away, and that shocked me to my core. It almost felt like I did something wrong. It was really weird, and I know obviously I didn't do anything. It's just oh god, the timing of that, the coincidental of that is awful. And there's a lot. Another recent one would be, Otani Yoshikazu, of Shinsho 2 meter. That one really got me when I heard about that. Because I listened to Shinsho 2 meter a lot when I was in high school, in the juniors, and I downloaded Speed by Disney, which is their first album. I downloaded it from somewhere, and I was just so blown away by how someone could do that whole the improvisation concept with rock music. Jam bands are can do that, but it's that, Shinsho 2 meter isn't a jam band. It's I don't know. how you even describe that sort of thing. But that influence is just all over the place. Like it's a little bit of everything, like it's rock and pop and jazz and... Anyways, when I heard about Otani-san, that really got me. And it's weird because I never knew any of these people, but they all it all feels like an old friend when you get to know the music that well, I guess. It just when you have that connection with that sort of thing, it fucking destroys you. A lot of people kind of try to be manly, sort of, in a way about it. And I want to say, I think it's okay to cry it's okay to cry in general, as the late and great Sophie said. That's another one that fucking got me before it came out. And, that still hurts me to think about Sophie. It hurts to think about Otani-san and... So this is, I don't know if you could call it a eulogy to these people. Maybe just a eulogy for myself. I don't mean like in a for my own death kind of thing, but just in a way that I can make my own sort of peace with that happening. To describe about the album title, this is a part I added. This is, the Japanese industrial standard, and I didn't add that for any reason other than it looked cool. And also that this isn't actually the industrial standard symbol of Japan anymore, but this is still in Unicode. Yeah, this is the current one. And for some reason they never updated the old one, and I'm really not sure why. Like they could have just updated it, right? But that's Yamaha Distortion and the Yamaha Overdrive. Those are my two favorites because they're cheap and they make awful screeching sounds. I need to shave. Haven't shaved in a while, I guess. No, it couldn't have been that long. Yeah, no. It's only been like a week or so. Fucking, this shit grows back like fucking nuts, man. Like the beard and stash part specifically. Like, girl, I'm a girl, bro. Like, fuck. Like, quit that shit, bro. Quit that shit, bro. I don't know, maybe now I said it out loud, maybe it will. I do want to say, regarding Mud Dog, because I haven't talked about Mud Dog in a while. Probably not going to sound anything like this. I don't think so. Might. Some of it might. But it's not gonna be like this long form. Not the first one, at least. Well, I don't even know if I ever want to do like something this long and have it all be like how I was doing it anyway. I've done a longer album in the past. The Universal Symphony Orchestra, rest in peace. I'll revive it someday. Oh, I just remembered. Another thing I did. I think it's this one. Yeah. This was my guitar pick. This is a $2 Canadian coin, if you're not familiar. cartoony, as we call it. Well, here's a fun fact I just thought of again. I think I played every other track sitting down, but this one I played standing up on the guitar. The organ, well, the drums I always played sitting down. The organ, I think it was kneeling, which wasn't very good for my knees. I remember that it hurt because, yeah, kneeling on a laminate wooden floor for a few days, or not for a few days, but for 2 hours straight, not recommended. Yes, I did the organ. I did that in one whole session. I don't know what I was thinking and why, but I did. And the drums, I did the first half of the record on 9/11, and then I did the second half from later into like October, I think. And then the guitar is, I think I recorded the first part of guitar in December because I wanted to take a little break. It's December, and then I recorded the second part in March. I came back to it a few times in between, tried getting something, but I didn't have the energy, and then the takes that are used on the final album started in May of this year. I think it was May of this year. It's fun. I wrote this all down and stuff, and even I don't remember it now. But it's all on the bandcamp. I put a shitload of information on there that, if you have any questions. Yeah, I wish another thing I wish I had done is that I wish I had recorded every instrument separately in 4 different sessions instead of just trying to go for all of it at once. I think that was a rather shitty idea. And obviously, if I were to ever do this live, God knows what would happen, right? That's part of why I wanted to do it live, to see if I could, essentially shit myself in public. Let's see. It's Cape Bell first. No, that wouldn't be at Cape Bell first, but... it would be interesting to see, right? It's experimenting, it's science. We can pull some bullshit data on it and call it a science experiment or something, I don't know. We're almost there. Only... It's at 11 minutes. Oh yeah, I forgot to give another reminder, but, just in case, you're tired or something, you don't have to listen to the end of this record right now. You can wait and come back tomorrow. Get some rest. But you don't have to. Do whatever. You can be like me. The swirling, and that's all manual. Put some stress on your fingers, man, I'll tell you that. Worth it. Not really. I wouldn't recommend it, but if you're trying to go for that effect, can't go wrong, I guess. I guess if there is one thing I forgot to mention. I don't know. If you've been listening closely, I guess. By this point, I guess you would have heard that I've been cutting the strings off one by one slowly. Yeah, that was a fucking idea that came up. It actually, I thought about it before it just kind of started happening. I thought about it and I was like, no, that's stupid. I'm not gonna do that. And, well, the high E decided to break just on its own. I don't know what was going on, but it just was fucked. And I was thinking that one of the things about this album is that I'm playing the guitar. It's always tuned to new standard tuning, and that is kind of a hard tuning to play. It's very simple, and if you were a beginner, it's very good, but me who has grown up knowing my standard E and my drop D and all that kind of stuff, I'm very not used to it. But I wanted to do that as a challenge to myself for this album. And now that this album is over, I was like, oh, well, it'd be really funny if I did the last track and I started cutting off all the guitar strings one by one. And then I was like, no, that's stupid. I don't want to get rid of these guitar strings for this and that reason. And it was the high E broke while I was playing, and it actually punctured my finger. Where is it? Right here. It fucking tore quite a bit of it. It got deep in there, and it fucking scared the shit out of me. Because it was like, oh my god, what is my finger? And then I realized, oh my god, there's a piece of guitar string in my finger. So I ripped it out, and then blood starts coming out of it. So I just kept going. and some of the blood got on the string because I leave the string on there and it was flopping up and down and all around. And then it was that point, it was like, you know, I didn't pay a lot for these guitar strings. Right, I paid money for them, but it was like they're easily replaceable, right? Like it's not like the end of the world. So I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, we're gonna fucking do that. So I did. And so at the very end, I took that photo that I posted on Twitter of all the guitar strings are chopped directly at the bottom, and then just this fucking awful little pair of sewing scissors. And it was fucking hard for some of them. You can hear me struggling sometimes if you hear the parts where me trying to get the blade down on it. But I got them all. There's the middle ones that are pretty hard to get, but like the last couple ones were pretty good. Oh, yeah, and some of the blood got on the white plastic part. Just like a tiny couple of like little smears of blood. Yeah, you know, normal music making shit. There, I'm cutting the string here. There is one more thing I want to mention, I guess, is that the recordings were, I guess, plugged directly into the board after the, like, for the second track onward, that's all plugged directly in. And the first track is just recorded, mic'd up an amplifier. The big triumphant ending. That's my record. Um, yeah. Well, I'm proud of it. Right now, I am. Maybe in a few months, I won't be. I don't know. I wanted to say that last sound where it's all noisy and stuff. That's me running the strings over the thing, like how I would have done with the other little guitar, the noisemaker or whatever. Um, it's a weird little record, huh? And I'm happy that I made it. I'm happy that I finished it, and I'm happy that this is a bit of a story about setting your own goals at your own pace and changing those goals if they're unrealistic. To be honest, if you asked me a year ago if this album was done, I would have told you to fuck off and that it was probably not going to be finished for like another 7 years or something. So I'm glad I got it finished a lot sooner than that. It is the album that has taken me the longest, I think, to release. I mean, there are a couple others, but those are more like things that are like canceled and stuff. Like this is like I was always gonna finish this. It was gonna take however fucking long it took. I'm happy with it. I'm glad I've listened to it one last time tonight, even though as I figured, not many people really showed up. But we did get a couple people, and we got a couple questions. And if you've watched to this point, because I'm gonna keep this stream up, I mean, if you do have questions about it, you can leave a comment, and I'll try to respond and think of what to say. I'm usually better at writing something than saying it out loud sometimes. And I hope you enjoyed the record. If you skip through and like because you didn't like hearing my talking over the music, and I hope you will check out the record part because I think it's interesting, at least. Even if you don't like it, I think it's interesting. I don't think many people will really be like fans of it or anything like that, but I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting for me to listen to it now. And if you do like it and you want a physical copy, because a couple people asked me if there would be a physical copy, so I wanna reiterate that here, and the answer is no, because I don't have the money to spend on them, and it's just too expensive these days, and no one really buys them. I still have like all the Kate Bell shitbox tapes and covering all bases tapes, Catch Chase Mice tapes. I still have all of that. I never got rid of any of it because no one ever wanted to buy one, and that's fine. They were always just there as an option, and I never really was looking to make like a whole profit off of them. I just thought it would be neat to have something physical. But for female cartesia, I can't do that. It's too long and too risky. I can't put it on like vinyl because it would probably have to take up 2 discs. I don't really want to edit these down, even though they definitely could be, but I don't think I'm the person to do that. I don't think that's a good idea for me to edit it more than I already have gone through and fucked with this record. I think it's its own thing now. It's a child, and I'm gonna let it out into the world on its own for the first time. And Um, so if you want to make your own physical copies, which is very fun to do as well, to make your own little bootlegs, then I would recommend you do that. I included all the original artwork and stuff that I made for this, so you can go nuts. You can edit it, you can put your own text on it, you can resize it and all that stuff, and just go wild with whatever you want. My original artwork concept was gonna have like another like whole thing of encouragement for like you can put it on like mini discs and CDs and all this stuff, but like just go fucking nuts with it. And if you make more than one, like if you plan on like selling it to other people, that's fine, by the way. I just ask that you just send one to me, because that would be nice. Yeah, that's it. I don't know. You can reach out to me. There are ways at which you can do that. So please do, if you do. But I don't imagine many people will listen to this, but it's okay. That is not something I am worrying about, and it's not something that really affects me or anything, if people listen to my record or not. I make my records mostly for me, but I'm happy if someone else has enjoyed it or got something out of it. And that's the truth. Okay, so it is 2:08 in the morning. I need to get my shit together. I need to wash the mascara and the eyeliner off. And I need to make sure all the lipstick is gone. I need to drink some water. And I need to get the fuck to bed. So I want to thank you for watching and being here for this listening party and listening to me talking about my weird little record that took about 2 years to do. And maybe I'll do something like this again in the future. I was thinking maybe do something like this for Mud Dog, but I had a special idea for that. But that's for another day. We don't know yet and all that kind of stuff. So hey, we're not even recorded Mud Dog yet. So but we're still working on it. We are writing. I've been writing like nuts recently. I'm trying to get anything, squeezing out my soul. I'm taking breaks in between and all that, so don't you worry about me. That'll be done when it's done. However, you now have 2 hours of music for you to peruse, put on the background, or not listen to it all, which is fine. You don't have to listen to it. But if you're at this point, then I presume you did. So thank you. If you didn't, you skipped to the end of the video. And thank you for skipping to the end of the video. Okay. So that is all from me. I will be going to bed now. Good night.